Mrs. Melanin reigns, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be back with you all. So I am doing a live video simply because I don't really have enough space to do a video, record it, and upload it, and all of that. So I'm just going to pretty much just speak on this live video. And if my lip gloss is like sticking together, y'all, sorry. I want to speak on this Nazaya Harris case, and I probably will sit down and do a video that I will record and post, simply because this is such an important subject matter. And I think that, of course, we're having the everyday conversations, the regular conversations that people are saying, you know, this is wrong, this was wrong, but I'm seeing so many different things, and I wanted to speak freely about what I have learned about PDF files. I'm going to say it like that, so hopefully I am not flagged on YouTube. But one of the things I want to start with, I heard the judge say to Jarvis Butts, like, she was trying to analyze whether or not he was someone who had pretty much what she was getting at is arrested development. She was saying, like, I was trying to analyze whether you are maybe 10 years old in your mind, like maybe his reasoning for being attracted to kids and being, you know, doing those things with children were because he was trapped in his mind and had cognitive disabilities, stuff like that. That's pretty much what she was getting at. And one of the things that I think is extremely, sorry, somebody was literally about to hit, I don't know why she came so close to this other car. She or he like rolled up on the other person. And anyways, the subject matter at hand, y'all, because I'm going to be ranting. I'll come back with a more organized video, and I'm trying to do better with my content this year. But basically, I think a lot of people resonate with that mindset that the judge was talking about, where they feel like when someone does those type of things, or the type of people that do those type of things are dealing with cognitive disabilities, where they are like literally 10 years old in the mind. As someone who works with adults with disabilities, a lot of times you'll see they have like a childlike nature. So basically what she was able to conclude is like, no, that was not the case. This man is just a real cold-blooded, you know, violator. And I really think that we need to have more conversations about the fact that a lot of people who end up violating kids, a lot of these people who end up violating kids, they have narcissistic personality disorder. They're either sociopathic or psychopathic, and they are simply addicted to supply. So if you don't know what supply is like a person, place, or thing that a person relies on to pretty much get by, for a means to an end. They're addicted to dealing with so many people. These people go through so many people. And for me personally, now I know you guys like to say you shouldn't diagnose anybody, blah, blah, blah. But for someone who has been studying these areas specifically for the last 4 to 5 years, Jarvis Butts clearly, to me, is a narcissist, has narcissistic personality disorder, probably deals with the full dark triad. They're saying he had upwards to 20 children. You have one woman who says, oh, this is my fiance. The other woman, I don't know if she was married to him or that was just his baby mother. But you see that this man has a supply issue. He's addicted to supply. So this is where the interference, his actions towards children, come into play, because these types of people, and I'm saying this because we don't know how many of them are around, or we're not able to identify them in settings because we do not know what to look for, and we're not having honest conversations about what a PDF file really is. He's addicted to supply. It shows in the amount of women he went through, the amount of little children he was touching. And one of the things that was really disturbing to me is that I know a family member was saying that, you know, he did his time. And I believe also Shannon, the aunt of the young girl that went missing, she was saying, you know, I was trying to give him a second chance and he did his time. when you're dealing with a PDF file, this is what I want y'all to know. There's no such thing as they did their time. You can put them in jail for 30 years. When they get out, they're going to go find another kid. They're going to go do it again. Lust is an insatiable spirit. When you're dealing with a PDF file, and again, I'm saying it like that because hopefully I won't get strike on YouTube. When you are dealing with a PDF file, my dear, it is not, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that can be done to them that will ever change them. They will do it again. I need people to understand what that means physically and spiritually. When you're dealing with someone who is willing to violate a child in that way, an adult that's willing to violate a child in that way, they are gone. They're gone spiritually, mentally, emotionally. They are out of here. They're out of here. You do not know what you're dealing with. And we can get into what it means spiritually, because that is a demonic spirit. That is a demonic spirit. It's the lowest of low. There's no lower than that of a PDF file. Not even a person who takes people's lives. I'm trying to use nicknames so they don't strike me down. But not even somebody who takes another person's life. You know what they call them, the M word. They are not even up there with PDF files. That is nothing to play with. It has been proven, it has been studied and proven that they will re-offend again. They will re-offend again. They'll do it again. It's not something that we should be dealing with lightly. And one of the things that I've also noticed about the energy is people are scared of it. People are scared of it. People are scared to admit it. They're scared to pass judgment on it. They're scared to deal with it. They sweep it under the rug. They don't want to talk about it. When you do go and talk about it, they take you, the justice system, CPS, all these different things take you through so much strain to get protection for children, to get protection for yourself. They take you through so much strain. Why in the world would a man who gave a 4-year-old an STD even be in the public? Why would he even be in the public? Why is it that we know that they will re-offend again? It's been proven, but they are being let out. There are people in jail cells facing life, facing 20, 30 years for selling a drug to a person who wanted to consume the drug. Now, drug addiction that's a whole thing. But hear me out when I'm saying there's no reason that warrant that amount of time. But we say we love our children. We say we want to protect our children. We say our children are the future. But the system has it set up to where as though these people can go to jail for 3 years and get out, 7 years and get out. And guess what they're going to do when they get out? They're coming for some more kids. I know why that is. I know why it's set up that way. I know who it also benefits and why they set up the laws that way. But when you are thinking about cases like this, I need you to know it's happening. Oh, it's happening. It's not just happening with uncles. It's not just happening with families that are married in, so extended family. It's not just happening with extended family. It's happening with fathers. It's happening with grandfathers. It's happening with biological family. Okay? And we're not having a conversation of how dangerous male idolatry is. Male idolatry is so dangerous because that's a part of what had all those women sitting up there and allowing this man who has violated children in the past. Now, Shannon and her other sister, but Shannon specifically, her elevator it does not go all the way up. You can't tell me her elevator don't stop at the second or third floor. Because you don't even make sense. You will have children. You will know somebody is a violator of children and still have children with them. Nah, bro. You got to go to jail. You got to go to jail. Shannon has to go to jail because she has made it clear that she kept children around a PDF file. Something needs to happen. She has to serve some time. The grandma, you have to serve time, ma'am. You know your daughter's man, baby daddy, whatever he was to her. You know that this man is a violator of children. You've been given custody of children that are not your own. Whether they're related to you or not, you've been given custody of a lot of children in your home, and this man is frequenting in your home. Nah, you got to go to jail, mama. You got to join him in that jail cell, because it's beyond repair. And I'm seeing commentary where they say, oh, she knew what she was doing. They read the text messages, which were very vulgar. They were very vulgar messages sent from her to him and from him to her. But who is the adult in the situation? The grown man. Anything that you teach children, children will repeat. Anything that you keep children around, children will start to act upon it. They will even build upon it, because that is what that life of a child, their innocence and their abilities, is built to do. So it's important for us as adults to make sure that we have them in the right environments. It's important for us as adults to make sure that we shelter them to a certain extent from certain things. We make them aware of how to fight and how to protect themselves when they're dealing with certain things. It's very important. So don't tell me that a 13-year-old should have known, or she knew what she was doing. She had no clue the extent of what she was dealing with. Grown 20-something-year-old women don't even know what they're dealing with when they're dealing with men a lot of times. Why would a 13-year-old know? And she wasn't even 13, because she passed away before then. So when she's 11, we don't know when it started. When this child is 11, 10, 12, you're telling me she knows what she was doing? She does not. She doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have a clue of the manipulation of how a man, even if she was of age, she wouldn't even be able to fathom the lengths of wickedness that exists in some of these men, in a lot of these men. She had no clue. A child that is seeking love, a child in that situation where she does not have her biological parents, she's seeking love. She's seeking affection. She's seeking for someone to be able to hold her, someone to recognize her, someone to love her, to encourage her. So if she feels like she's getting it in this form of this manipulative, nasty, wicked spirited old man, crusty old man, if she felt that she was getting that from there, and she realized, okay, if I talk like this, or I say this, or I do this for him, he pays me attention, she's gonna continue to do it. And we have to be able to use common sense to understand that that is what will transpire when a child is exposed to do those type of things. But more importantly, I will be coming back because I need to speak to people who do not understand that pedophiles are not just people who are ugly. They're not just people who can't get any grown women. They're not just people with arrested development, or who feel like they're childlike, or not feel like, or who are childlike in their mind. That's not what it is. Most times it is a deviant. Someone who 9 times out of 10 themselves have been exposed to that type of corrupt behavior in their childhood, or it's just a morally corrupt person, a deep, dark spirit, a very nasty, the lowest of low spirit is what a pedophile is. They're not just, violating a child. What is working through them once that child's soul, once that child's destiny wants to get in the mind and the spirit of that child, to control that child, to work for them, to be entertainment, to be satisfaction for them. That's a dangerous, dark, nasty, wicked spirit to deal with. And when you see it in your environment, you need to call it out. When you see someone talking inappropriately to children, or making, those little icky jokes that people let slide, call it out. When you see someone putting a child in their private area to sit on their lap, call it out. When you see someone try to violate a child, if a child comes to you and say, this person is doing this or this to me, believe them. Because these children, especially very young children, cannot make that up. They don't have that in their imagination unless they have seen it before. Children, 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10 are telling you the truth when they say they've been violated. When you see a man giving special attention to a child that is not his, and even sometimes a child that is his, this goes for women and men, but most specifically men, because they make up about 97% of the pedophiles in the world. When you see them giving special attention to children, use your common sense. Use your common sense. Think about all the children out there who their fathers have walked out on them. And then I need you to use common sense to just analyze how men move. Men are not that much interested in children like that. I'm not discounting fathers who are great. I'm not discounting men in our lives who do great things for us, but they're not paternal instincts are different from maternal instincts, and men at large are not that invested in children. That is not they're not on the forefront of their brain. And even when they think about it, they're thinking about legacy, how they can pass their stuff on and uphold their name and blah, 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 blah. Use your common sense. Do not leave these children with these men. Whether they're random or not, whether they've been married in the family for long or not, never let your guard down, and don't wait for it to be your child. It doesn't have to be your child. Yeah, you have limitations on what you can do if it's not your child. But come out of La La Land. Come out of male idolatry, please. This stuff has been happening so much. Literally so much. And we'll literally talk about, you shouldn't have your children around these men, these random men. So we have consciousness as a collective that males have a problem with perversion, period. They have a problem with perversion, period. And it's like we don't want to acknowledge the true nature of them. Some of them will tell you. Some of them will be truthful. But then when a woman speaks about it, it's as if she's bashing them, when in reality, this just is what it is. You got to know the nature of who you're dealing with and accept it for what it is. That don't mean you go out and accuse everybody. No, be vigilant. Protect your children. Protect your nieces, your nephews. Look out for these kids. CPS. I hope that with these stories that are coming out, y'all really see that CPS. That's a whole nother video. And I have videos on that too. But it's really, really important for us to start having these conversations. Y'all don't want to hear it, but men have a problem with perversion. Men have a problem with perversion. They always have. Grandfathers have touched generations on generations of children. They have a problem with perversion. The world right now has a problem with perversion. The accessibility of perverted stuff is larger than it's ever been before. So when you are dealing in life, because we're going to see more of these stuff be exposed, we're going to see more people get exposed, and you're going to see a lot of this trafficking stuff, you're going to see a lot of this SA stuff come up, because the energy of the great mother has returned, and it's not going down how it used to go down. We're living in a different time. It is not going to go down how it used to go down, where people claim that they didn't know that they shouldn't be dealing with 13, 14, 15 years. This is not the era anymore. We're coming out of it, and there's a lot of stuff that's going to come up. And a lot of these women need to be held accountable, because the nasty conversations y'all are having about kids, like, I'm literally about to cry. Because it's happening so much. I work with children. Most of the people who work with children have already had encounters where they have noticed that a child that they're dealing with has been exposed to this nasty behavior. And it happens a lot, just in general. It happens even more so when you include foster children, when you include custody being given to non-biological parents. It happens a lot. And we need to have the conversation, because men have a perversion problem. If we cannot acknowledge and speak honestly about that, and really, 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 really dissect that, then a lot of the things are going to go by the wayside. Because there's a reason why they make up 97% of PDF files. There's a reason. It's a perversion problem. And it's things that we need to stop ignoring. As a woman, bro, you need to learn how to sit down. You need to have discernment. After a certain age, there's really no excuse. Have discernment. Stop discounting yourself and just letting anybody in your life just to say you have somebody. If it's not right, let it go, because it's a very dangerous time. The most dangerous time for a woman is when she's pregnant. Why do you think that is? The most dangerous time is when a woman has a man in her home. Why do you think that is? I'm not being mean. I'm not bashing them. Go look up the stats. Go look up the stats. Our children. If you are in danger as a grown woman, what level of danger do you think the children are in? We're not having honest conversations. We're not having honest conversations. So, because there's another little girl, I can't recall her name right now, who has a very similar story to Naziah. There's quite a few, but there's a specific one that everybody knows of where it happened with the step uncle or whatever, same line of mess. And they end up taking the lives of these little girls because they ended up getting them pregnant. Can you imagine your life ends because somebody's perversion? Somebody want to fulfill getting a pretty much just busting a nut. That's all. Something that only lasts like 1 minute for them. 1-2 minutes. That it. I'm sorry. My librarian is about to come out. It's coming out because a little girl literally lost her life because a man impregnated her that should have never even been touching on her at all. Y'all please go and do the research of how many women lives end during pregnancy. And know that there's girls, not women, girls that lose their life even more so. Some you will never hear about, stories you will never hear. And I'm going to end with this. I don't care if a child bends over and opens up their private part to you and says, come take it right now. You as an adult know better. It's your responsibility to make sure the child does not get harmed and is protected. There is nothing a child can do or say or wear that should make you as an adult. Women, men, I don't care. There's a lot of perversion going on. This is not the time for it. And if you're dealing in it, you think you're getting away with it, you're going to get exposed. You're going to get exposed. Oh, yeah. And remember what I said about the justice system. They make it so hard. So the exposure is not just going to be justice system. Oh, no. Divine justice is going to play out so hard on the heads. If y'all thought 2024 was something, watch and see 2025 moving forward. That's it. Bye.